Full and inspirational summary of Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. Introduction. The post-apocalyptic world of Panem has long etched a vivid image of power, fear, and survival in the minds of readers. In this bleak world, the Hunger Games are not just a tool of oppression but a grand display of cultural and psychological control enforced by the capital over the 12 districts. Sunrise on the Reaping, Suzanne Collins' latest edition, is a story that dives deep into the heart of the games, the life of someone who once lingered in the margins. Haymitch Abernathy. Chapter 1, The Reaping Day, a dawn that begins with tears. In District 12, at the far end of Panem, Haymitch was just a teenage boy leading a seemingly ordinary life. He lived with his mother, younger brother, and a girl named Lenore, whose smile could ease the world's pain. But on the morning of the Reaping, Haymitch's world fell apart. To commemorate the 50th Hunger Games, known as the Second Quarter Quell, the capital altered the rules. 2 boys and 2 girls would be sent from each district into the arena. When Haymitch's name was called, time seemed to stop. The sounds of breathing, the murmur of the crowd, even his own heartbeat, faded into a blur of shock. He was no longer a simple miner's son, he was now a victim of a spectacle where survival meant losing innocence, humanity, and perhaps love. Chapter 2, The Train, One-Way Ticket to Death. Along with White Callow, Missily Donner, and Lula McCoy, Haymitch boarded the train to the capital, a journey with no return. Along the way, they encountered a world wrapped in extravagance that mocked their poverty. But beneath it all, Haymitch watched, analyzed, and learned. Training began. Each tribute tried to stand out with combat skills, bravery, or charm. Haymitch, unlike the rest, used his words. With wit and sarcasm, he drew attention, not because he was the strongest, but because he was the most distinct. On interview night, he appeared confident, sharing stories, humor, and a rare warmth with an audience addicted to bloodshed. Yet inside, he carried a weight too heavy to explain. Chapter 3, The Games begin, where humanity borders on savagery. This arena was strange and ominous. Full of tunnels, traps, and decaying structures, it hid death in every shadow. Haymitch allied with Ampert, a boy from District 3, to destroy the arena's water reservoir. The mission was successful, but Ampert fell to genetically engineered creatures. Death came relentlessly. Missily, his district ally, stayed by his side until they reached a zone clearly under capital control. Marith from District 1 died there, and soon after, Missily too perished in a desperate attempt to help. Hunger and solitude became Haymitch's companions. But he had changed. The boy who once escaped reality with jokes had become a survivor. He realized that survival wasn't about brute strength, it was about understanding the environment, using a sharp mind, and even, at times, showing compassion. Chapter 4, Victory Demands a Heavy Price. Eventually, only 2 tributes remained. Using a force field to his advantage, Haymitch turned the capital's weapon against itself and emerged victorious. But the joy of survival was short-lived. Returning to District 12, he received horrific news. His family and Lenore had been murdered under President Snow's orders, as a message. The triumphant hero was now truly alone. Alone in the victor's village, haunted by memories of the arena. He turned to alcohol, not to forget, but to silence the voices, the images of death replaying each night. Chapter 5, Memories that Plant the Seeds of Hope. Years passed. Then came another girl from District 12, a girl with braided hair and eyes full of fire, Katniss Everdeen. Her bond with Haymitch started cold and strained, but gradually, a flicker of hope awakened in him. One day, Peeta and Katniss brought Haymitch goose eggs as a gift. "They're for Lenore," they said. And Haymitch accepted. For the first time in years, he felt he still had something worth protecting. Conclusion, a voice awakening in the dark. Sunrise on the Reaping is more than a story about the games. It's a human narrative about loss, endurance, and inner courage. Haymitch, once a supporting character in the original trilogy, now becomes a figure of depth and resilience. He represents a generation that survived, but never forgot. In a world where truth is buried beneath media edits and manipulation, his existence reminds us that even in the most broken hearts, there is light, enough for a new dawn.